This is like a ta-da that we get to our class. We're going to sit over there with them. All right, everyone together? There's just one more. Okay. Well, welcome to the class called The God Factor. Okay. And basically what we're going to be doing over the next 4 weeks, and I'd like for us to leave downstairs before we come out here. So we can come up as a group. But for the next 4 weeks, what we're going to do is turn these statements, I call these Q statements, quality of life and living statements that we're going to be making. I'll show you more about this today. We're going to turn the energy of those statements into something that goes from that page into you, literally into you. So now you can begin to change yourself in any way you want and now achieve the things that you truly do desire. Now we're going to be using advanced physics to do this. It's a beautiful little system that I think you're going to enjoy, but I'll tell you more about that later. I want to start this off the right way. So I want to start this off with gratitude. And I want to be very grateful first to the teachers that we have here. So I'll start with Ruthie Goody. Ruthie, would you mind standing? Ruthie is going to be in charge. Give her a hand. She's an expert about aromatherapy and essential oils. So we're going to be making some blends that will really help you through this process. Ruthie, thank you. Sandra, would you mind standing? Sandra Stewart. We'll take us through a meditation. And the meditation is probably one of the most important parts of this to get into our Q statement. Sandra, thank you. Marco Mendez. Marco? Marco is an expert in breath and breathing, so he's going to help us activate our Q statements and our meditation with his techniques. So, Marco, thank you. And then we have Becky Smith. Becky Smith. She's going to be involved in doing electro-optics with us, doing light and different parts of electronics, so this will be very important for helping us get to where we want to go. And there's always one who wants to be a teacher, so.
Me?
Yes, you.
No, I don't. I'm saying hi to my buddy.
Well, it worked. Okay, last but not least, we have Scott Mullen. He's a chiropractor. He's going to be teaching. We need this to help guide us so we get answers. We need answers, objective answers for how we're going to go. Now, for those of you who have taken previous classes here, I want to thank all of you for being here. It's a great privilege and honor to have you back. And now for the new people, the people that have not been here before, would you mind standing, please? Okay. Now, starting with you, ready? Would you just tell us your name and why are you here?
My name is Jeannie, and I'm here to
Yeah, good. That's a good start.
Hello, my name is Cruz, and I'm here to figure out how to get closer to Christ consciousness.
Well, thank you.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm already a patient of Dr. Berman, and I was very excited to be a part of this. I just want more, to be more conscious of how I can make a better self that I'll better learn.
My name is Liz, and I'm invited by Laura and Cruz.
Can we start with you?
My name is Roxanne Crowley, and I'm here to introduce Living Beliefs.
Okay, very good.
I'm Joy, and I came because of Pat.
Very good. Very good.
My name is Jean. I want to come here to learn new things.
Thank you.
And my name is Donna, and I'm here to grow and expand.
Very good.
I'm Lindsay, and I'm just here to learn.
Hi, I'm Linda, and I'm here to learn also.
Please.
Hi, my name is Stuart. My health coach Danny invited me. I'm here to learn and improve my health and fitness.
Very good. You've been a great coach.
My name's Greg. I'm here to learn as well, and on invitation of my wife here. So.
Very good. It's good to see you. Please.
I'm Barbara. I'm open to new things. And
Oh, very good. Very good. And you're here.
I'm Lori, and I'm here. I had a recommendation of a friend, but it sounded like energy work, and it sounded interesting. So
It is. It is fully energized. So this will be interesting. Well, I'm here also to learn. I want to learn how I can improve the techniques I've developed. You're going to be my best help. You're going to be the ones who guide me. Because I believe this is going to be very useful. I've already seen the results, both with myself and with others who've been using it. but you are the test case. You're the first class. I'm going to learn a lot from you, and I hope vice versa. So let me begin with the name of the class. Why do I call it the God Factor? Well, it's already been humorous because when I sent out the emails, the person sent me back some information and said, Gary, why are you teaching the Godfather class? Obviously didn't read the email. But I thought about it for a moment, and I thought I'd have to be 100 pounds heavier, have to talk with my New Jersey accent, and I have to have a big old diamond ring that you're going to kiss as you're bending on the ground and asking for help. It doesn't fit. The purpose of the class is to help you and to help me so we can all move forward. So I call it the God Factor class simply because I respect my brethren, my brothers and sisters in physics. They're looking for a classical particle right now. It's called a Higgs boson. It's supposedly the fundamental particle of the universe. It's what comprised every one of us. It comprises all matter, comprises everything in the universe. Now they've been looking for it for 20 years. The rationale is this. They're thinking that they can find this particle, since it's fundamental and it created everything else, that they can work their way back to understand God. Now they're going to try to understand God through science. I'm not waiting. We're not waiting. God is right here, right now. God is inside of us. God is right here, right now. The question has always been, how do we find it? How do we expose ourselves to it? How do we get the most of it? Well, I'm a scientist. Okay? I like theology, I like science. We can combine both factors. So we're going to use advanced quantum mechanics to get to that answer. We're going to dial in the amount of God that you want by using very specific methods to determine how much of God you want and accept. Sounds pretty nice, right? Now to get there, we're going to follow a very specific pattern. Okay? So we're going to start by looking at what creates problems. Why do we have so many problems getting there? Why is it that no matter how much we meditate, we pray, we ask for help, we don't get the answers? Okay? I'm going to go back into what I've taught before and before and before because it all fits. And I will take you up to some of the new work over the last 3 months for the people that have heard this before. But let's go back to our basics. Here are the basics. Okay, obviously a spine. In this dimension, it just holds up our belt buckle. When I rotate it like this, and I look down the length of the spine, and I put ribs and arms and legs to this, this is now an antenna. This is just like the antenna we used to have on our roofs, the TV and radio antenna that we had. Now, according to the second law of antenna theory, it's a law just like the law of gravity. Every antenna is sending out, is transmitting and receiving information. It's transmitting every thought, every belief, every action that we've had since the time of conception on, and it's sent all of that information out to a great library of information that's freely available for every one of us. We all have access to this information. There are no secrets anywhere in this world, none. So, what's it receiving? It's receiving all the answers that are necessary for us to be incredibly prosperous. All the answers that are necessary for us to be incredibly prosperous. That means that it's sending to us everything that's necessary for us to have health, wealth, relationships, and time all working at the same level, at the same time, simultaneously to improve the quality of our life and living. So the question is then, if that's true, why are we all having so many problems? Why is the world in such a bad place? Well, the answer to that comes back from how are we activating, what's powering this antenna system? This antenna system is powered by 3 different places. It's powered by the brain, our logical side, our heart, our emotional side, and it's powered by an area about an inch below the navel, which is our spirit side. Okay? Now, the problem that we're all having is that we are thinking about this the wrong way. If we start to think about who and what we are, I need to go to a quote. Now, this is a great quote. I wish I had found this myself, but I did find it through one of my patients who couldn't be here today. And Rhonda, I want you to get credit for this because she's the one who gave me this information. It's the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. Okay? But the question is, who are we? Who are we? Age-old question of a lifetime. Well, the answer to that question is very simple. Okay, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. It's that simple. Okay? The problem is, as a practicing doctor, both for trying to help you and myself, I'm using my human side, my brain or heart, to evaluate my human experience. I'm not looking at that experience through a spiritual filter. I'm looking at it through my brain or heart. Now the problem with that is, if I use my brain and heart, if we look at brain, heart, and spirit areas, look at the positive sides of all this. The brain deals with logic, focus, planning. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? The heart deals with joy, passion, and faith. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Now the spirit, it deals with confidence, certainty, fulfillment. When you're working in that spirit, it is amazing what you know. You can just sit there and the answers are coming to you. Nothing phases you. It is profound how this works when you're in that zone. Now the problem comes when we begin having our human experiences, and we begin evaluating them through our human side, brain or heart, and now we're not getting our answers. Or we don't know what to do. In either case, if we get stuck in the brain or heart area, heart or brain will lead to anger and frustration. If we stay there long enough, we're going to experience now anger and frustration. Forget about the planning, forget about the logic, it's all gone. It's all gone. Heart, if you stay there too long and not getting answers, we have fear, doubt, uncertainty. The problems that I see with people coming through my office are the same that I have to deal with myself. If I get stuck in either one of these two areas, I'm not only having to deal with physical issues, like diet, exercise, water, sleep, whatever it is, but now I have to deal with self-sabotage. If we stay in these two areas, either one, and whatever the situation is, I don't care what the problem is, you are going to get locked into one of those two areas, either the brain or the heart. For 99+% of us, we're going to get locked into one of those two areas, never both. Never both at the same time. It'll be one or the other. And then by the time I get to see you, you don't know what to do, or the anger is overwhelmed. And now we have self-sabotage trying to stop you from moving forward. The only way out for all of us, the only way out is to let spirit take over and let it guide us. That's the only way out. If we can do that, we are always successful. It always works, and then we can achieve what we're here to do. It's that simple. So, if I go one step further, how do we get there? Well, the first thing is we need a blueprint. We need a plan. Without a plan, we're never going to get anywhere. Our blueprint is what I call the Q statement, quality of life and living statement. We're going to tell God, ourselves, what we want. Now, I start my plan, my Q statement, in this particular way. Okay? I always say that I give myself permission, and I allow myself, I give permission and I allow God, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, and angels, and others, because, hey, I'll take help from any other spiritual source I can get. But this is my form of God. You may have your form of God. Okay, but this is what I believe. You want to help me eliminate the weeds and roots of my negative self-sabotaging self. Now, let me explain that. About 3 months ago, I was watching TV and I saw the riots on TV. Now, I don't even remember what set of riots there were because there have been so many of them. And it flashed me back to what I went through when I was 13 years old. I was living in New Jersey. We were very poor. And in the space where I was living, now we call it a ghetto, on the other side of the street and down the block, they were burning down the other side of the block. Now, I'm 13 years old. I'm sleeping at night in a chair with a shotgun draped across my legs, thinking that if they're going to come to my house, try to burn down my house, I was going to protect my family. For 3 nights, that happened. I could see the smoke, I could see the fires, I could see the fire department, all the people running up and down the streets for 3 nights like this. Now I look on TV and I see these same types of people all angry. The rioters are angry, the police are angry, everyone is upset. What's the difference between what I went through, what they're going through, and the things we put ourselves through? that we selectively put ourselves through. It's all the same thing. So that night I went to bed and I asked God, what's going on? What can I do to help? Because what can I do to help us get out of the brain and heart and get over into that spirit area? So I had a dream that night. I get a lot of dreams. Some of them are pretty good. And in that dream, God said, Gary, I want you to look at your garden. So he shows me a garden. And then he shows me weeds in my garden. Okay, so then this hand of God comes down onto the weeds and he gets rid of them. And he just cuts them off. He cuts them off the surface of the ground. And he says, Gary, what's wrong? What's wrong with this picture? You tell me. What's wrong with that picture? That's right. You can get rid of the roots. He said the reason why you haven't been successful in solving these issues is because you didn't get rid of the roots. Well, that's all I needed. Because the moment we start thinking of the right ideas and we ask God for help, it's amazing how fast we can move forward. It's absolutely amazing. This was 3 months ago. In the span of these 3 months, whatever I've done up to this point, I've moved a lot further. And you're going to benefit from this, I hope. Okay, so we're going to get there. But the first part of this is we have to know where we're going. We need a blueprint. So this is my blueprint. That's my blueprint. Okay? I'm going to ask you to take about 5 minutes. Wish I had Jeopardy music right now. 5 minutes. And I want you to write down your cue statement, because here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You can start it just like I did. So we're going to remove the roots and weeds of my negative, and this is important, my negative self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs, actions, and stories, and change them to, now this is where it's been interesting. I've been doing this now for roughly about 2 months with my patients. I explain all this to them, and they look at me and they're agreeing. Yes, yes, yes. It all sounds very reasonable. So then I say to them, what do you want? And they're like a deer in the headlights when we get to this point. And they say, what do you want? They're like, I mean, I'm serious. They're like this. Yeah? And then I say, well, to break the ice, I say, well, do you want optimal physical and energetic health? Yeah, I want that. I want physical and optimal physical and energetic health. So we get the process moving. But what else do you want? What is it that you really want now? Okay, this is important. This is an important question. Okay? And don't limit yourself, because God's not going to limit you. But I want you to take a few minutes, write down your version of the statement, but I would ask you to please say permission and allow that you also include the roots and weeds of my negative self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs, actions, and stories. Now, as far as your version of God, you put in what you want. That's up to you. Yeah.
If we've done a cue statement before, should we label it cue prime or different?
Well, let's say you did a third cue statement. This would be a cue sub 4. Cue sub 4. Okay? For most of you, especially the new people, this is cue sub 1. Let's take about 5 minutes. If someone can time me here. There we go. Thank you, Dan. Voice to the rest of you. Thank you. When we started, just as we walked through the door, we were more in this area as a group, brain and heart. We are now just about there, leaving that area. Just in the process of giving yourself permission to think about these things. The energy is quieting. You're becoming a little bit more relaxed. Do you notice that? Yeah. Yeah, you can sense it right now. We'll get there. You're doing well. Up here, who has the courage and confidence to read their statement in front of all of us so we can all learn. I'm being serious about this. So who wants to come up? Scott? Now, before you read anything, this is important. I want to go back to the simple drawing. We have brain over here, heart there, and then there's God. Remember we said brain, heart, and spirit area. Now, I don't know what Dr. Muller is going to be talking about, I'm not sure, but he began in the brain. Now that he's written this down, he's over here. He's now pointing to this direction. Okay? So please,
The whole thing or just the part where I get to, whatever? All right.
Whatever you want.
I give myself permission and allow God, dogs, spirits of helpful nature, angels, etc., who want to help me eliminate the weeds and roots of my negative, self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs, actions, inactions, and stories, and change them to release of fear, to feel, to heal, to find what's real. That actually rhymes, I didn't mean that to. Let go of the pain that I've been experiencing, and also be all-being master of time, space, and dimension.
Well, it sounds like a pretty good statement, right? Yeah. And it's good. It is good. However, the Spirit is asking for one more thing. So now he's over here, just reading that. If we add one little thing to it, what about your prosperity?
Yes, my prosperity has always been, yes, and increase my prosperity where it needs to be.
So prosperity means health, wealth, relationships, and time, all working simultaneously for the benefit of whomever it is. Okay? So if you add prosperity to that, and specifically it's about wealth, yeah, but have the others too. Then we go from where he was over here, now we're over there. That's a significant improvement from being over here. Significant. Now I'm curious, I'm just curious, in writing that statement, how did you switch from the time you walked through the room to now writing that statement? Did anything happen? Did you feel any different?
Well, I did feel different. I've been feeling more of when I'm in the spirit. I feel it in my dantian. It's actually a physical feeling, a heaviness, a rootedness, and also a Kung Fu master. And it feels like I'm preparing to do my thing, and then it sinks down into my dantian.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yes, yes. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, clarify.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Who else? Front, please. Would you mind coming up to the front?
I can't believe I put my hand up.
Now, before she reads, again, she's working from the brain area. She was when she walked through that door. Now that she's written this, she's about right there. You're moving along. Good.
Okay.
Very good.
I give permission and allow my God, in capital letters, to help me eliminate the weeds and roots, self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs and actions, and to change them to less worry about what others think of me, to accept and enjoy who I am now, to be content with me as I live with me alone, to love and enjoy my God just as I see him in my life, my friend, to recognize when I can help another person and do it, and to keep me a believer.
Very good. Very good. Those are you said some good things there. Can we do one thing though? You said less, was it worry? Did you say less worry? Did you
Yes.
use it that way? Can we use something positive there that would give us the same thing?
Yeah, that's really good.
Can we say something positive there rather than less worry? How would you say that? Instead of less worry, how else would you say that?
I guess I could say spend less time thinking about it.
Still the same thing.
Okay.
Let's go to the positive. How could you possibly
Just
say that?
accept and enjoy who I am, which is the next
There you
sentence.
go.
And let the other one go?
That's it. Just
Okay.
let it go. Now, there's also about having companionship or something like this. So you're bringing up an animal. Do you have anything to do with animals? Do you?
No, not now.
But you.
I've had my lifetime supply of them.
Well, there's one waiting for you that will need help in this process. So whether you volunteer your time or you do get some cat or dog later, you might want to open the door towards bringing something in that will show you more love and respect that's coming from you. Now, if we do that, we do those two things, we now move from there over to here, which is again another big shift forward, because remember what we're talking about. We're talking about going from here all the way over to there, and so far it's impossible to make that jump all in one movement, all in one statement. It's impossible, but we can get there in different cue statements. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just one more. Please. Okay. Now, before Tasha reads, when she came through the door, she was in red. Okay. Now, she's right about there. So let me ask, when you were writing this, did anything shift inside you? What happened?
Everything's brighter and everything's calmer.
Thank you. Thank you. It is that simple. Thank you. Would you mind reading?
I've been having a common theme with gardens pop up in my life lately.
So do I.
So I give permission and allow God and the guardian angels and others who want to help me eliminate the weeds and roots of my negative self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs and actions and stories, and change them to the beautiful flowers of life in our gardens that will guide me and everyone to the enlightenment of the whole universe, where we are all at our most prosperous, best selves, all connected in harmony with God and our spirits.
Good. Very good. Very good. But you're asking for even a sharper focus. What do you want for you, specifically? A sharper focus.
What's the goal? The focus.
Well, because your spirit is asking not for a broad cross-section right now. It's looking for more focus right now. In other words, it really wants you to bear down in a specific goal, or goals, but specific. So if you could choose one, what would it be?
Prosperity, so I have the means to.
Good. Okay, so let's go with prosperity. How do you get there with prosperity? You have any ideas?
How do I get with prosperity?
Or how do you achieve prosperity?
With focus and determination.
Okay, but what would you do? What actions would you take right now? Is there anything at all?
Self-sabotaging?
No. And again, we're going to the negative on that. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I want you to get there. I want you to get there, because it's coming from you, not me. So if we could focus a little bit more on any specific areas, or any specific area you could work on, like the job that you're doing, education, is there anything else that you could do specifically that would let you focus a little bit more?
I can focus more on education and broaden.
Okay. So like going back to school for certain things? Good, good. You're going in the right direction. When we have a little bit more time, if we want to figure out some courses or things, if I can stand and I'll help you any way I can. But you are now going in the right direction. Now, if we go in that direction, you're going from here all the way over to there, which again is another large shift forward just by simply focusing. So thank you. Thank you. We'll ask one more person, please. Yes, please. Please. She wants to read her statement.
I give permission and allow spirit and others who want to help me eliminate the roots and weeds of my negative self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs, actions, and stories, and change them to confident, strong, and productive living, financially independent, both in my personal and business life, and to use my intelligence, intuition, and empathy to help others shift their lives as well.
Good, we're good. Okay, when she came through the door, she was in her brain area. Okay. Now you notice the last 3 or 4 people rolling in their brains. We live in a brain culture. Okay. Not often are we in our hearts. Okay, but whether we're in the brain or hearts, it's equally as bad, it doesn't matter. Okay. But nonetheless, she was in the brain. She's now thinking about up to here. So let me ask, as you were writing this and thinking about this, how did you feel?
Lighter,
Lighter.
more focused.
More focused. Very good. Now, you said great things there, but just like Asha, I want to make sure you get there. So is there any focus that you would have? Again, this is coming from you, not me. So is there any specific focus that you would concentrate on? It's not education, but it's knowledge. What would you do?
Well, I'm a reflexologist, a home therapist, life coach, and business organization consultant, so I can use all those things
Very good.
to help me.
That's it. I hope in your statement you give permission to God to open those doors. Okay, because if you'll do that, that'll go from where we were right about here all the way over to there, just by simply making a small addition to that statement. It's that simple. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, the question has always been, because I've done things like this before, why doesn't it last? Well, how do you get the energy from here, now that you're making good statements, how do you get it from here into here and let it work and let it last? So it gets stronger, bigger, better all the time. Well, the next part of this is now meditation. One of the steps that I found that's very important to make this transfer is meditation. So we're going to go to our meditation. We have 3 steps to our meditation. They're in front of you right now. Now, this works for me. I don't meditate up to, well, before I started this, I didn't meditate at all. I couldn't. No matter what I tried to do with meditation, it never worked. Now I understand why. The answers are in what we're going to be doing. So there are 3 steps, and the purpose of this meditation is we want to clear the external environment around us. Okay, that's step 1. We want to clear it from demons, dark forces, negative people, and influences. We want to clear that space. Okay, step 2 is we're going to now allow God to work inside of us to clear the roots and the weeds of what's inside of us. That's step 2. And step 3, when you meditate, when you send out your desires, when you focus, now there's nothing to stop you. Now, when you go towards the concept of manifestation and you achieve that, you'll do it so much easier and it will happen so much faster because everything that's trying to stop you is gone. So let's go through this. There are just 3 simple steps. So the first step is you're standing on a platform. You're in the center of a large sphere. Okay. How big the sphere is, that's up to you. I don't care how big you start. It doesn't matter, as long as you see yourself standing in the center. Then you're going to expand the diameter of that sphere, realizing that on the other side of that sphere are all of the energies that are trying to prevent you externally from ever manifesting what you want. So we're going to expand it and expand that sphere and keep expanding it until they're so far away from you that you will not feel their influences anymore. And then what I've seen uniformly is people will start relaxing. Now think about it. You're using your imagination to achieve a physical result. When East Germany was a country, especially in the 1960s up until about mid-1980s, they were one of the smallest countries in the world. They won more gold medals in the Olympics than any other country in the world. And we in the West thought that they were cheating. Steroids, drugs, you name it. You know what we found? They were poor. They didn't have the money to buy all the track shoes and everything else that people needed. So what they would do is they would take their best athletes and they would spend hour after hour after hour with them meditating. They would see themselves doing the event before they'd ever go out to the field for hours at a time. It works. The Navy SEALs. I love the Navy SEALs. I just love that group because they have a standard. Okay? And if you can reach that standard, you're in. And if you can't, we'll let you come back. But they don't change that standard. I love that organization. Okay? They have a standard. And what they do is they will take people before they show them the weapons, and they will take them through meditation techniques for hour after hour after hour before they take the weapons to the range. So that by the time they're ready to take it to the range and put bullets in the gun, they already know what to do. The bullets are hitting exactly where they need to because their consciousness is that's where the bullets are going. It's amazing what you can do with your mind. It's absolutely amazing. And we are going to take advantage of that. So we're going to start with step 1. Then we go to step 2. Step 2 now is, once you've reached your level of relaxation in step 1, we go to step 2. Step 2 is now you see the hands of God going into your body. You allow the hands of God to go into where the roots and the weeds are of whatever these stories are that are trying to stop you. That's step 2. You allow God to remove all of that poison in one swoop. All the poison is gone, no matter how deep, no matter how far-reaching it is, that all that poison is in his hands. He steps back, you give him permission to step back, holding on to that poison, and now you begin to give him permission to hold on to that poison and retreat from you. Expanding that distance another time. And how far you make that distance, that's up to you. But you keep expanding it and expanding it and expanding it until you relax. It's that simple. Let's make it easy. Step 3, we've cleared away the external and internal problems. We've done it. Steps 1 and 2. Now what we do is we imagine that we have a fire hose. We have our Q statement, and we're going to spray ourselves with that fire hose. Okay? We're going to absorb every part of that Q liquid. It's going to go into our bodies. It's going to go down to the roots and the weeds. Okay? It's going to fill up all spaces inside your body. It's going to start expanding. It'll start coming out through your pores. When it comes out through your pores, you'll see yourself being more of a luminous body, like a light source. Okay? But you will also see your face. So as you're spraying yourself, you're also going to have 4 large containers around you. One for health, wealth, relationships, and timing. So as you're spraying yourself, you're spraying those containers. You want them to overflow, because that's abundance. I want you to see abundance occur while you're taking care of yourself. So as you're spraying yourself, and you're absorbing all of this, now I want you to see yourself smile. So now you're smiling to yourself, okay? You're smiling. Keep spraying. Keep spraying now until you see yourself nod your head up and down. You're saying yes to you. You can hear it. You can see it. Why? Why is that important? Why? Why is it important to see yourself saying yes? Positive energy, right? Positive energy. And you're in agreement.
You're receiving.
You're receiving it. I mean, can you imagine how powerful this can be? So when you see yourself smiling and saying yes, right? And you can hear it, you can see it, you can see your jaw moving up and down, then tell yourself also what you're going to do. You've got your Q statement. So tell yourself how you're going to cooperate for the first time in our lives. Okay, we can now start working with ourselves instead of against ourselves. This is the first part, after the Q statement, that's going to be important to now proceed further on into the rest of the work that we're going to be doing. It is that simple. Now, any questions? Simple. Well, Sandra's going to guide us. She's going to take a few minutes and guide us into this. Okay, so Sandra, would you mind taking it? I'm going to turn the lights down.
Thank you, Gary.
Good one.
All right, and since we're ready for this. Let's start with breathing. Being comfortable in your chair, whatever it takes for you to begin to relax. As always, we're in an attitude of gratitude. Know that you are supported in doing this. Let's start with step 1. See yourself standing on a platform in the center of a large sphere. Let's expand this sphere. Let's take it out 100 times more. 1,000 times more. 10,000. Keep it going. 100,000. 1,000,000. 100 million times further. 10 million. $100 million billion times. A trillion times more. $100 million billion trillion. Feel yourself relaxing with every breath. Now that your external environment is pure, let's see yourself in the center of the sphere. And within your body, the hands of God are reaching in, taking all the poisons, all those weeds and roots of all that resistance you've been holding on to. And there are no limits to the size of the hands of God, so whatever's there, He's taking it. He's removing any of the poisons that prevent you from achieving whatever you're destined to be and whatever you're destined to have. He's extracting all this poison from you. And let's take those hands with that poison as far away from you as your imagination can make it. And you have an incredible imagination, a gift from God. This poison is not returning. He's not leaving anything behind. He's taking all of it. And you're allowing it. And He's going out further and further and further. $100 million times further than you can imagine. There's nothing left of that poison in your body. Now that we've purified the external with step 1, the internal with step 2, let's go to step 3. And use your imagination. As you continue to breathe, you're seeing you spraying yourself with a liquid. The liquid is your statement, and you're using a large fire hose. This is a tremendous fire hose. And remember, there are 4 buckets, 4 containers. And these containers represent health for you, wealth for you, loving relationships for you, and all the time you ever see the buckets overflowing. Because in your life, there's an abundance of all of these. There are no limits. Keep spraying yourself. You're taking in all of this light. Your statement is full of light. And there's an abundance of God's light for you. Keep spraying yourself. Do you see the light? Are you getting brighter and brighter? Are you seeing those spaces filled where those roots and weeds were? Filled with God's light. Do you see yourself nodding your head yes? Observe yourself. Your head's going up and down. You're saying yes to this whole process. See yourself physically doing this. Now see yourself smile. A rich, beautiful, happy smile. Filled with that joyful smile. Feel that smile. See that smile on your face. Relax and enjoy that smile. Let's use our imagination once again. You're going to finish this step by taking items from your cue statement and be specific. In your imagination, see all of that happening. Everything you wrote in that cue statement. It's yours. Nothing can take it away from you. It's yours. Feel what that cue statement is doing in your life. As you do this, you're continually being illuminated. The light is shining all through you. You're getting brighter and brighter and brighter. to manifest what it is you have on that statement. That freedom is yours. See what it looks like to manifest this. Feel it. Know it. And as we finish with gratitude. Gratitude for the amazing changes that are now in your life. They're already manifested. And we are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. When you are ready, open your eyes, wiggle your toes, whatever it takes to come back to this and be in this space.
I'm going to keep the lights down because of what we just gone through. Feedback. What happened? Show of hands. What happened? Anyone willing to share? Please.
Completely, totally just like lost myself.
So you felt good?
Yeah.
Very good. Much more relaxed?
Much more relaxed.
Very good. Very good. And the etheric field around you is much stronger now too. It's much brighter. If you look at it, you'll see that.
I can definitely feel people's energy around me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much brighter. Just before it wasn't much, now it's out of your body. It's really good. Anyone else? Feedback.
I felt the intensity to a point that it was, the temperature seemed to just rise. Then by the time we finished meditation, the energy is still pleasant.
And you, just like cruise, you've got the field around you that's very bright. It's very good. Very good. Anyone else? Thank you. Anyone else? It felt good? So, yes. Yes, you're right. Very much right. You are right. Thank you. Thank you. One more. Anything else we can say?
I just felt opening
Yeah.
and real release.
Okay. So much more relaxed than in that point. Yeah. Accepting levels of what to do and how to do it. Different things.
Not real specific, just real happy and joy and willingness.
Very good. Very good. Now, some people may not have felt much of anything. The first few times I did it, I didn't feel too much, but I knew innately this was the right way of going. By the third or fourth time I did it, it was working. And I don't do anything unless it works. Anyone who knows me knows I tend to be efficient in that regard. I'm not going to waste time on something that doesn't work. I'll be the first one to tell you that. This works. Give it some time. Spend some time each day. How much time it takes, that's up to you. I spend now about 5 or 10 minutes. I may do it before I go to bed at night, and if I fall asleep, I'll give my spirit permission to take me through the rest of the 3 steps. So all through the night it's working on this. I'll do it in the morning most of the time before I leave the bed. I'll take a few minutes and go through this process. When you get good at it, you can do it in a few minutes. I would encourage you to please use this because it's a very important step in our process. Next week, I'm going to have Marco take us through breathing techniques because that'll add a lot more power to this. And we'll go back into the meditation with Sandra. We'll probably be doing some muscle testing with Dr. Muller. And then eventually we're going to get into some of the really good things also that I've added over the last 3 months, equipment that we're going to be using, because it seems like this gets what we've just done, gets the process going. But to keep it in the body and really turn it on and let it work through the body and let it stay permanently, I found that some equipment is necessary to do that. It works beautifully. So you'll see that as we go through this. Okay. Any other comments?
At some point I was so relaxed that I found the garden center. And at first I was kind of scared of what to do with them, and then I realized what they were for.
Very good. Very good. Remember, classes. All right, classes. We want to get that going. Good job. Good job. Any questions at all before we go? No? Okay, let me remind you about the purpose of science, or at least my purpose. Science, especially physics, should bring everyone together. It should encourage us to feel as though we're a part of each other, we're never alone. It should also make our lives go much more efficiently. So, let's use our energies tonight before we go, and let's make a unified circle. So, I'm going to start with Dennis. We'll just let the